see his earned run average of 3.80. That's a lot lower here at Tropicana Field, where he's round 2.5. He loves pitching inside the dome.
Well, here's Ichiro stepping in to lead it off, and the first pitch of this game swung on, and a high pop down the right side. That's a foul ball, and it is caught by Zobrist, but it hit one of the catwalks up there in foul territory, which will make it a dead ball.
If only it was that easy to get rid of Ichiro in one pitch, but yeah, it was in foul territory when it hit the catwalk, so that's the ground rule.
So Ichiro's back in with an 0-1 count. He fouls this one the other way out of play, 0-2. The thing that really is amazing about Ichiro, he has 210 hits. He leads the league in that department. 57 infield hits. Pitch is high, 1-2. He has over 2,000 career hits since coming to the Mariners, and not quite, but almost 25% of those hits are infield hits. This one is foul the other way. Count is still 1-2.
So hard to defend him. Everybody usually plays him pretty much straight up, with the exception of third base and left field. They'll shade him towards the line the opposite way, because he is able to slice that ball down the line and left.
And there's a ground ball headed to short. Bartlett up with it. The throw to first is in time. So Ichiro is out of there to start this game.
Take a look at the Rays defense behind Jeff Neiman. Fernando Perez giving Carl Crawford a day off in left field. B.J. Upton in center. Gabe Kapler in right against the lefty starter for Seattle. Evan Longoria, Jason Bartlett, Ben Zobrist, and Willie Ibar on the infield. And Deoner Navarro behind the plate for Jeff Neiman.
Here's Franklin Gutierrez stepping in to face Jeff Neiman. Gutierrez hitting .279. 16 home runs and 61 runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes. All of those career highs for Gutierrez offensively, including 144 hits and 14 stolen bases. And he puts down a bunt. Longoria bare hands but has no play. We mentioned all the sacrifice bunts he's had. Well, there's a bunt base hit.
A team that plays a lot of small ball. They'll bunt a lot, including for base hits. You talked about Ichiro's infield hits, and now you see Franklin Gutierrez, who has those sacrifice bunts along the way, and now he has one bunt for a base hit. This guy has done a little bit of everything this year for the Seattle Mariners.
Wakamatsu has put together a force with this club now. They were for a while in the wild card hunt. Ground ball third. Longoria to Zobrist. 1, first base 2. Nicely done around the horn. 5-4-3. Longoria, Zobrist to Ibar. Double play to retire the side. Bottom of the first coming. Seattle 0. Rays coming. will be facing a left-hander tonight. Jason Bartlett again leading off, followed by Gabe Kapler in right in the number 2 spot. Evan Longoria, then Ben Zobrist with his 9-game hitting streak cleanup. Pat Burrell, the DH, Willie Ibar at first. Gianna Navarro behind the plate, B.J. Upton and Fernando Perez in center and left. 8th and 9th in the lineup.
Facing a tough left-hander, the Australian native Ryan Rowland-Smith. Other than Felix Hernandez, he's been their most consistent starter in the second half.
Here's Bartlett stepping in, and the first pitch is high and outside. 1-0. One hopper to the shortstop. That's Josh Wilson with the throw. And Bartlett is out number 1. So that's the way the bottom of the first starts. Rays starting the evening 77 and 73. Rays have averaged just under 5 runs a game at 4.97. Their goal was to average at least 5 and push that to about 5.5 to compete in the AL East. Seattle's 6 games over 500. They're actually averaging under 4 runs a game. Mariners are averaging 3.95 runs a game. But they have the best team ERA in the American League. 1 strike to count to Kapler. Pops it up right side. That's a foul ball and will be out of play. Proud to bring you this game once again tonight in high definition. And Kapler is out on strikes. Foul tip strikeout.
Defensively behind Rowland-Smith tonight in left field is Bill Hall. Franklin Gutierrez can go get him in center. Ichiro, a Gold Glover in right. Adrian Beltre, Josh Wilson, the former Ray, at short. Jose Lopez at second. Mike Karp, the rookie, at first. Kenji Jojima back behind the plate for Ryan Rowland-Smith.
There's Ken Griffey Jr. Well, is this his last year or not? Remains to be seen. Pitch to Evan Longoria is low, 1-0, but the younger members of this ball club have nothing but good things to say about Griffey and the influence he's had in the clubhouse and the dugout. Between Griffey and Sweeney, there's a lot of kudos headed in their direction from their teammates and the coaching staff. A 2-1 count to Evan. Two and two now. And a base hit through the hole between short and third. Evan Longoria is aboard with a 2-out single.
Rowland-Smith loops up a curveball there. Didn't have a whole lot of bite to it. Evan was able to find the hole between short and third.
The Rays saw him in Seattle back in August, on August the 9th. But he gave up just 2 runs on 6 hits and 6 2/3. Ball 1 to Zobrist. He walked Zobrist a couple times in that game. He threw some pretty good changeups in that start he made against the Rays. 2 balls and a strike. And there's a pop foul back off a changeup. That went out of play, and upsetting our high home camera position a little bit there. People were hitting the deck. It's high. The count goes to 3-2, but he did have Zobrist out in front on that changeup. A key for him is to keep that pitch down.
He's been able to work deeper into these games lately, and with that command, he's been really on his last 4 starts.
Great 2 and a liner. That's foul. Back at third, down the left field line, and beyond the bullpen. And with 2 outs and a full count, Longoria was breaking. Had that ball been fair, a chance to break out in front. But a foul ball, and Zobrist will see another 3-2 pitch from Ryan Rowland-Smith. And that's outside. So a walk, and the Rays have 2 men aboard. 2 on, 2 out for Pat Burrell. Ball the other way, out of play. Burrell had a hit in that start made by Rowland-Smith against the Rays in Seattle. In fact, hit the ball hard a couple times. You see his breakout here, just .218 for the year against lefties. He pops it up foul. That again will carry out of play.
Hard to imagine he does not yet have a home run against the lefty. You're talking about a guy that among active major leaguers is top 11 all time in OPS, on base percentage, and slugging against lefties.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count 2-2. That's average with men in scoring position. Been .278 for the year. Pops another one foul, out of play. Up the right side. Off speed. Scatter the bullpen, and nice catch down there to protect that bullpen.
A lot of guys to protect with September roster expansion, and all the entire bullpen's going to come over and shake that fat boy's hand. That's a nice gesture. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for saving our lives. This pitch bounces in. 3-2. How about that? That was great.
They're a strange crew, or a unique crew, I should say.
Well, they're bullpens.
They ran pass patterns during warm-ups before batting practice today. Then before the first pitch, they all stand with their backs to home plate. They stand at a certain spot together for the national anthem. They're very unified and unique.
Runner goes, and a pitch hit on the ground to third. Beltre, with a lot of time, makes a good throw to first, and that retires the side. Rays lead 2. We go to the second inning. No score. official online shop of the Rays at RaysBaseball.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Ken Griffey Jr. is going to open the second inning, and the Rays put the shift on for him defensively. See Longoria way over toward the shortstop spot. Zobrist playing shallow right field. Neiman's pitch to Griffey is high. 1-0. Ken Griffey Jr., 39 years old. He'll be 40 in November. 2-0. You know, last year divided time between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago White Sox. And this year back where he started in the big leagues with the Seattle Mariners. Neiman has gone 3-0 on him. With the Mariners' top pick in '87 out of Cincinnati. 3-1. And that is ball 4. So Neiman walks Ken Griffey Jr. It's going to be Adrian Beltre. Beltre's hitting .260. Pitch is down. Slider in that time. Bounce foul down the third base side. Toward the bullpen.
Remember in the beginning of the season, Jeff Neiman was really struggling a little bit going from the windup into the stretch, and he took him a little while to get into that comfort zone. But now, with the role he's been on, he's as good out of the stretch as he is in the windup.
Yeah, he made incredible progress in that department. At 6'9", sometimes takes him a little while to get everything in sync. Fly ball deep center and up and back just on the edge of the field turf. He makes the catch. Griffey returns to first on the fly ball to center.
Pretty well hit off the bat of Beltre. Breaking ball that stayed up just a little bit, but Upton able to glide back there just on the edge of the warning track.
Bill Hall, over from the National League, hitting .221 with Seattle. A couple of home runs. He had 6 home runs in the National League. Pops it up, foul. That's going to carry out a play. Strike 1. Neiman with a couple shutouts in his 12 wins. Keeping an eye on Griffey Jr. Pitch is wide. 1-1.
Tried to spot a fastball on the outer corner of the plate, just missed.
Scott Berry's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Out of Michigan. And this one is low. 2-1.
Neiman's a big rhythm guy. He gets in a rhythm and then he goes through a few solid innings in a row. He never quite felt that rhythm in his last start at Baltimore, and I think he's kind of searching for that same rhythm here tonight.
started to go, but held up on the appeal. That's Damian Beal down at first. Let's take a look at that.
I'd like to see this one again. Does Bill Hall hold up? Yeah, he did. Good job.
A 3-1 count. Back in at first. Well, there have been times, and it's not a surprise, when we've seen Neiman with better strike command of his curveball than even his fastball. The 3-1 pitch is inside with the fastball, and he's walked 2 men in this inning. Griffey will go to second as Hall draws the walk. The audio version of our telecast also available in Espanol by simply accessing the SAP button on your set.
I think this is one of those nights, Dwayne, you were talking about, where he is struggling a little bit with that fastball command early. He may have to go to another pitch in a key situation until he finds that fastball again.
Dealing with the catcher now, Kenji Jojima. Throws a strike on a fastball for a strike.
There's a fastball for a strike, upper part of the strike zone.
2.
Fouled a ball off his left knee in that Yankee series. Missed a couple of games at the end of that series. But he's probably not running 100%. If Jeff Neiman can roll a ground ball here, he can get out of his second straight inning with a double play.
This is up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there are times when we will see the velocity on that fastball fluctuate. And a lot of that has to do with the mechanics of gathering all 6'9" of himself and getting it in sync. Down to third. Longoria to Zobrist, and Zobrist to Ibar. And there is the double play ball. 5-4-3. Got it down, and Jojima hits the 5-4-3 double play to end the second. Still an inning and a half.
Probably aware of now that he's talking to Jim Hickey. Jeff's been great this year at taking that advice and making it work on the mound for himself.
Well, he's He's very earnest about his approach to the game. He works hard and he pays attention. As a result, he's in the running for the Rookie of the Year award. Willie Ibar takes the first pitch, and that's a strike. Ibar, Navarro, and then Upton. They bounce a fastball back, and the count is a ball, 2 strikes. That's going to be fair. Just up the right field side toward the bullpen. Ibar is going to turn it on and dig for 2, and he makes it. A double. Soft little liner, just fair. Good for 2 bases.
Well, good for Willie. He's been struggling a bit here in the second half. He wrapped up his final at bat with a home run on Sunday against Toronto, and now in his first at bat against the Mariners, just slicing one inside the line, and Ichiro had to go a long way to get that ball over the Rays batting or bullpen mound, so he had no chance to throw out Ibar.
Well, here's Deoner Navarro, and when the Rays faced Ryan Rowland-Smith in Seattle back in August, Navarro was one of the few mistakes Rowland-Smith made. He got ahead of him, 2 strikes, and then Navarro hit a 2-run home run to left field, accounting for both runs the Rays were to score that day. 1 strike to count to Deoner, this time up here against Ryan Rowland-Smith. It's inside, 1-1.
Navarro with his first swing trying to hit the ball to the right side, move the runner along, and with that Adrian Beltre shift Franklin Gutierrez over a little further towards right center than straightaway center.
And a bunt, first base side, that's going to move the runner over, and Navarro will get a sacrifice out of that as he bunts the Ibar to third.
Well, the bunt stayed in the air for a little while, so not a classic bunt, but it landed in the right spot. Once that ball hit the ground, there was no chance to get the advancing runner, and Navarro has himself a successful sacrifice.
You can see he dropped the barrel of that bat down, which put the ball in the air, but the Rays got the man to third nevertheless. And here's Upton fouling one up the right side out of play for a strike. BJ 33 with 10 home runs. Takes one inside. His fastball, Rowland-Smith's fastball, has been essentially in the upper 80s so far tonight. We have seen him in the 92 to 93 range. This pitch is high. 2-1.
He is a quick worker with the infield back. BJ Upton's got a good count right here to drive in a run.
Count will go to 2-2 with that foul ball out of play.
Talked about BJ Upton getting that front foot down, and sometimes when he's a little late on those fastballs is when that front foot's not down in time, and he has a tendency to foul him off to the right side.
There's a little wrinkle in his approach to getting that front foot down. It's interesting to listen to hitters talk about that and what a big difference that makes. He takes this one a little high. The count goes to 3-2. They get that front foot down early. Everything seems to slow down for them. That is, the pitch seems to slow down. And if they don't get that front foot down in time, their swing seems to slow down.
No doubt about it. You can see on that take by BJ Upton on that last pitch, his foot was a little late, so I don't think he had a chance to turn on that pitch.
3-2, and there's a shot toward left center field. Falling in there for a base hit. Here comes Ibar in to score, and the Rays take a 1-0 lead. Upton sends a fastball into left center.
Nicely done by B.J. Upton. He got a close pitch called a ball on 2-2. And look at that foot being down early in that swing. Watch that front foot. He's got an unusual stance that he twists it, but then it's down. Ball is not even close to the plate there, and he's able to turn on it. The two he fouled off, and the one that he took on the 2-2 pitch, his foot was a lot later than that.
We saw that was a great shot. That overhead camera is just a great shot, and to show Upton starting his swing with that front foot, and that's part of the process of getting started, and he does have a little bit more of a wrinkle in that than the standard hitter. Fernando Perez up here, natural right-handed hitter. Been switch hitting over the past few seasons in the minor leagues and trying to continue his progress with that. Down in the count 0-2. Takes a slow breaking ball.
Like Fernando gave his razor blade a workout in the off day.
Yes, he did.
No more mustache. He had that distinctive mustache look since he was called up.
This one is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, that's a. Some would say he's updated his look. I'm not one to talk about updating a look. I kind of like the old look myself.
I hear you.
Hey, a base hit for Perez into center field. It's kind of a hovering breaking ball, and he got some of the bat on the ball and lined it into center. 3 hits in the inning.
Fun part about having Perez down in the bottom of the lineup right behind Upton is if these two guys can get on, now you can put some things in motion. That was a breaking ball that hung up a little bit on the outer half of the plate. Good piece of hitting by Fernando, not trying to pull it, but just sending it into center field. So now you've got tons of speed on the bases with Upton at second and Fernando at first.
So with 3 hits in the inning and a run home, Roland Smith gets a visit from his pitching coach, Rick Adair. Rick's had a pretty good year as the pitching coach in his first year here with the Mariners. Jason Bartlett. Pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Quite a year when you consider how many pitchers they've sent through their rotation to still lead the league in ERA.
Ground ball that deflects off Roland Smith, headed to the right side. Lopez with the pickup. Everybody's going to be safe. Upton goes to third, Perez to second, and Bartlett gets a base hit on the deflection off the pitcher.
Joe Madden was talking the other day about deflections off pitchers, and he says, I don't know why, but it seems like every time a pitcher has a ball deflected off him, it heads towards third. But this time, with that backhand try by Roland Smith, he actually deflects it the other way towards second, and in a perfect spot for the Rays and Jason Bartlett.
Gabe Kapler. So a big opportunity for the Rays presenting itself in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 the count to Kapler. He lifts a pop fly short left. Wilson out there making the call. So the bases remain loaded now with 2 outs. And it will be up to the Rays RBI leader, Evan Longoria. He has 108 RBIs, 3rd in the American League. Pitch is down. Ball, no strikes. Foul back, a fastball. Now 1-1. Longoria now 2 for 4 against Roland Smith for his career. And he sends a fly ball at center field. Gutierrez is there waiting and makes the catch, and the Rays leave the bases loaded. They pick up a run, and at the end of 2, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Here on Sun Sports, Neiman and the other rookies, Wade Davis and David Price, will definitely get some more work before this season comes to a close. We talked to Joe Madden and to pitching coach Jim Hickey prior to the game. 3 starts they would hope to get for Davis, along with 3 for Neiman, including tonight, and at least 2 more for David Price as these young guys work ahead towards next season. It'll be Davis going tomorrow for Game 2 of this Seattle series, guys.
Mike Karp leads off the 3rd. This is the 2nd pitch of the inning. A fastball that time up, and he missed it, and the count is 1-1. Karp, then Josh Wilson, and back around to the top of the order, Ichiro Suzuki. 2-1. It's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Neiman, the first couple innings, not exactly where he'd like to be with his delivery. 3-1 to Mike Karp. Swing and a miss. The fastball that was up, and the count goes full.
88 and up. Good hitters count. Just a little out of the zone. Got Karp and chase.
The ground ball is short. A nice job to come back and get him after falling behind in the count. Karp is out. Bartlett to Ibar. 1 away.
I agree with you, Dwayne. I think Jeff's gotten away with a few so far in this first couple of innings. He got a couple of double play ground balls to end each inning. They were both fairly sharply hit too, so he's trying to find his consistency with his fastball, and he's been working behind a lot of hitters.
And you hope it's one of those situations where the first couple of innings he's gotten through, and now he'll find himself. You know how good he can be when that happens. Wilson takes the pitch high. The ball, no strikes. One and one.
Take a look at Neiman's delivery. Jim Hickey was going over some things with him about staying through the ball.
2-1.
Keep the shoulder square as opposed to tilted, as you see Hickey with a little tutorial with Wade Davis.
Strike ball. 2-2. Now Neiman has thrown a lot of fastballs tonight, and they have been, most of them, 88, 89, maybe 90. An up and in, a check swing, and a foul ball. He's continued to try to iron that out. You hear sometimes, so often, pitchers problems with the delivery on their fastball, and they'll throw a breaking ball just to get through that pitch a little bit more. There's a strike ball and a nice pitch. Fastball, a little more velocity on that one, and he picks up his first strikeout of the night.
That was by far, Dwayne, his best fastball of the night. Josh Wilson expecting something with a wrinkle. This one's poured right down the middle. And that was right around 91, 93, depending on the gun you're looking at. That's right around his high range for the evening.
2 outs in the third. Now we go to Ichiro. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. So we have this game and tomorrow night, the only games of the year the Mariners are in town. 2-0, and Ichiro is something special to see. We're talking about all of those infield hits he's gathered. Puts this one into short center. Upton coming in under it, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 third. We go to the bottom of the frame, 1-0 Tampa Bay.
This courtesy of Heineken Light, I imagine it's a Rays family now, right?
Yes, it is.
Tell me about your experience as you upgraded your experience today.
We met Carlos Pena, Joe Madden, the coach, watched batting practice on the field, which was very exciting. Just been a very enjoyable time, a very memorable time. Everybody's having a great time thanks to Heineken Light. And my wife has officially switched over to the Tampa Bay team with Carlos Pena meeting her, and was quite excited about it.
Now, your wife is also responsible for this because she's the one that actually filled out the entry form at the Sweet Bay, right?
Yes, she's responsible for everything in my life. So.
You are a smart man, by the way. I hope you enjoyed the experience. You've got a terrific vantage point down here. You're allowed to be a Red Sox fan when you live in Maine, but now that you've retired from the Navy and you're down here in Florida, we appreciate the fact that you're coming over to the Rays side.
I appreciate all you guys have done for us. It's really been a nice time. So,
Robert and his family going to enjoy the rest of the game. We'll go back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Whit. And boy, you're right. Robert is a very intelligent man. Full count now to Ben Zobrist, and his wife can be excused by being influenced by Carlos Pena. He is very persuasive. And so it's great to have them as Rays fans.
Absolutely. Keep turning over those Red Sox Nation fans. Beautiful thing.
3-2 now. And there's ball 4. Zobrist walks again. Levin draws the base on balls to open the home half of the third.
Roland Smith has not quite been as sharp as maybe he's been his last 4 starts. One of the reasons he's been able to go so deep into games, in his last 5 starts, he's only walked a total of 4 batters. So he's not missing by a lot, but he's not commanding that fastball like he may have in the last few.
Here's Pat Burrell. It's in for a strike, a breaking ball. Matt worked the count full in the first inning and eventually grounded out to third. Roland Smith has made a few pitches here in the early part of this game. A 25 pitch first inning, 24 pitches in the second.
0-1 changeup and had Burrell out in front.
It's the pitch he threw so effectively out in Seattle, and we've seen a couple of pretty good ones tonight, and there's one popped up, caught by Carp. So back-to-back change-ups to Pat, and he pops him up with that one.
You can use that changeup effectively to right-handers. Obviously, he's not afraid to double up on the changeup either, as he just did to Burrell ahead of the count.
Willie Ibar, who opened the second inning with a double up the right field line, and has scored the only run of the game so far. Ben Zobrist at first with 1 out. That's a strike. Low, 1-1. Seattle is the only pitching staff in the American League with a team earned run average under 4. They lead the league with a 3.91 earned run average. And he has Ibar out in front on the changeup and pops him up foul third base side as Beltre makes the catch on that one. So that changeup responsible for retiring Burrell, and now Ibar. The Rays staff ERA is 5th best in the league, but Seattle goes from 391, and then the White Sox are second at 416, followed by Boston, Oakland, and then the Rays. That's how it breaks out. And that both the starting rotation and their bullpen's been good. Navarro takes one outside. He lays off a changeup.
Their bullpen's been a real pleasant surprise. The rotation, they've rotated 12 different guys through, and then David Arzma anchors a very solid bullpen. It's a team that doesn't score a lot of runs, but they have a winning record because of their arms.
For the first, Ben Zobrist is back in there.
They have won a lot of close games this year for Don Wakamatsu. 31-17 in 1-run games, the best in the major leagues.
Ground ball by the mound is short. Picked up Wilson, and the toss to Lopez for the force. We're through 3, and the Rays lead 1-0. Fourth of the Rays leading. Time for the Aflac trivia question. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Here's Ken Griffey Jr. He currently ranks 5th on the all-time home run list. Can you name the top 4 on that all-time home run list? Ken Griffey Jr. active and currently 5th on the all-time home run tally. Franklin Gutierrez leads off the 4th. He takes the pitch for a strike. Gutierrez out of Venezuela. He was originally signed by the Dodgers. One and one to count. He spent some time in their system and played some minor league baseball here in Florida, over in Vero Beach and in Jacksonville. Found himself in a deal that sent him to Cleveland. Got to the big leagues with the Indians briefly in 05, but last year did get just under 400 at bats. He's over 500 at bats this year for the first time in his career, and he drives a base hit into left. So the leadoff hitter is on for the second time in 4 innings. It's his second hit.
Pitch tailing in on the inner half of the plate. Gutierrez pitch up. Having just a real nice year. This guy's making a name for himself in Seattle.
Now, the Indians liked his work ethic. Eric Wedge over there, the Cleveland manager, saw steady progress and liked the way he went about his business, worked hard, and now a chance to get all those at bats and play every day, and he's really blossomed with Seattle. And as much as they're happy with the offense, his defense has been outstanding. Here's Jose Lopez. That's a strike, catching the corner.
Little slider on the outside corner at the knees. Perfect pitch by Neiman.
Yeah, that's a nice pitch to start a hitter with right there in that location too. Made that fastball that much better too.
Yeah, just slowly but surely, he had a very solid 3rd inning after falling behind Carp, the first hitter. He's slowly but surely starting to work into a rhythm here.
Line drive to 3rd. Quick throw to first. Not going to be in time. Lopez hit that curveball hard right at Longoria.
A little bit of a hanger on 0-2, not where you want the pitch, but Neiman gets away with it as that was a bullet right to the Rays' 3rd baseman.
And again, here's Ken Griffey Jr. with the Rays shifting their defense around to the right side. Neiman walked him in the 2nd inning. He gave up 2 walks in that frame, but got a double play ball to get out of it. There goes the runner. The pitch is high, and the throw is not in time. The call. Well, that's Bruce Dreckman on the call down there. And I think the Rays want to argue this one. Bartlett thought he had Gutierrez.
Great catch and throw by Navarro after Gutierrez had a good jump. This is a good pitch to throw outside, almost like a pitch out. Navarro's throw is on the money. Hard to tell where the tag is there. Let's take a look and see if Bartlett's able to get the tag on him right away. If he is, then he should have been called out. No. I think it was a good call by Dreckman.
So that'll go as the 15th stolen base of the year for Gutierrez. Madden almost felt obligated to go out there. The Rays have had a few calls lately that have been very close, and they just haven't come up with any of those calls, and so he just wanted to have a friendly conversation about that one. So a steal for Gutierrez. And a little tap right side. Neiman's on his way to first, and Ibar with the toss over there. Gutierrez goes to third as Griffey is out. Ibar to Neiman.
Good little test here for Jeff. Runner on third base, 2 outs. Solid hitter, and Adrian Beltre coming up. Beltre hit a ball pretty well to center field his first time.
Beltre 0 for 1. And a line drive base hit into center, and that scores Gutierrez. A fastball, Beltre ready for it, and lined it right back into center field. It's a 1-1 ball game.
Well, a couple of Adam balls tonight for Jeff have helped, but this one was a line drive that found its way into center field. Just fastball over the middle, and Beltre hit the ball hard twice now. Once to deep center field on a line out, and that time on the RBI base hit.
Yeah, that fastball middle up right there. And that was one of the problems Neiman ran into against Baltimore. Actually, that was the problem. He threw a lot of pitches in the heart of the plate. Want to know the count to Bill Hall. The Rays have a run, 5 hits. Seattle a run, 3 hits. Ground ball bounced foul outside of third, 1-1.
This is foreign territory for a guy like Jeff Neiman pitching this late into the season. You see his line on September 15th. Normally in the minor leagues, Jeff would be done right around the 1st of September. Sometimes they get into the playoffs a little deeper than that. But to pitch through the month of September for the first time can often be a wall for a rookie, and we'll see how Jeff fares in this start and his last 2.
It's up a bit. 2 balls and a strike. Seattle getting a call from Milwaukee. Been with the Mariners a little over a month now. He was not with them when the Rays were out in Seattle in early August. Runner takes off. Pitch popped up. Foul ball. Carry out of play. It squares the count at 2-2.
Jeff was aware that coming into this start, 2/3 of his starts have been away from home. He said, I can't believe my luck. He loves pitching here at Tropicana Field. So he was excited to know his last 3 starts were all going to be here at home, and he felt like he had a good chance to finish strong despite pitching late into the season for the first time.
Swing and a miss. That retires the side. That might have been the split right there, and a good one to get Hall on strikes, leaving a runner at first. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Ken Griffey Jr. currently ranking 5th on the all-time home run list. Who are the top 4? Well, let's take a look. Of course, Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth. Then Willie Mays, and next comes Ken Griffey Jr., 5th on the all-time home run list. B.J. Upton swings and just gets a little piece of that one for a foul ball, a breaking pitch. Strike 1.
That was our greatest list of any Aflac trivia question all year.
I think you're right.
That's amazing.
It's pretty impressive. This one is down. 1-1.
His role as DH allows him to socialize a little more.
Back into center field. Is there to catch it. 1 out. Fernando Perez. Perez had a base hit, lined a curveball into center field his first time. Sees a fastball to start this at bat. Takes it for ball 1.
Playing Roland Smith really works quickly. To the point where a couple of batters have stepped out on him just to gather their thoughts. B.J. Upton and Perez did so the first time through. He gets the sign and he goes.
And he shortens on the bat. Perez takes the pitch for a strike. Roland Smith, born in Sydney, Australia, divides time in the offseason between Newcastle, Australia, and some time in Seattle. 2-2 now the count to Fernando Perez. Ichiro is there for it. So Perez is out. Number 2. With the bases empty, we'll go to the top of the order and remind you to place your reservations for 2010 Rays season tickets. Ensure the best seats, biggest savings, and all the great benefits. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com for the 2010 season. Bartlett pops it foul. Out of play. Game tied 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Two strikes the count to the Rays leadoff hitter. Bartlett had a base hit his last time, so he is 1 for 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch taken low. That foul. Seen that changeup utilized prominently by Roland Smith tonight. Little tap to short, charged by Wilson. Throw to first, close. Oh, very close, and they just got it to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We head into the 5th with the game tied 1-1. brought to you by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. And by the new 2010 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Come into your authorized dealer right now for the driving experience of a lifetime. We go to the fifth. Our game is tied 1-1. Here's Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you so much. Kenji Jojima will lead things off for the Mariners. Take the breaking ball for a called strike to start things off. Jojima grounded into a double play his first time up. Fly ball to shallow right field. Out goes Overs. In comes Kapler. It's the Rays right fielder who puts it away for the first out here in the fifth. Jeff Neiman so far, 3 hits allowed, a couple of walks. The lone run scored in the last inning on a 2-out RBI single by Adrian Beltre. Neiman will now work against the rookie first baseman for the Mariners, Mike Karp. Karp takes a pitch away, 1-0.
Karp's getting some action because of Russell Brannon's back problems. He was on the disabled list at the end of August.
Foul ball out of play. 1-1 the count on Karp. What a year for the former Ray, Russell Brannon. 31 home runs. He's actually in the discussion for that extra player, the fan vote for the 32nd player on the All-Star ballot. Had a great first half of that. Those back problems maybe shutting down his season early, but it's still a nice season for Brannon. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a nice change up, that split again, and he threw that split to get hauled in the last inning. Just a little fade to that pitch.
So Neiman ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Time is called as Jeff Deanna Navarro will cycle through the signs again. Big 6'9" right-hander. Up high, 2-2. Oh, it hit him.
Just grazed him. Scott Berry quickly on the call. Well, that's too bad.
Wow, that wasn't too far off the plate.
Let's take another look at this to see how close to the strike zone it was. Well, it's got plenty of the plate.
It's on the plate.
I mean, it's right over the plate. You know, if that ball doesn't make contact, it might be high, but boy, it had all kinds of plate.
Strike to Josh Wilson, 0-1. Karp tried to get out of the way of it, but not a great effort. It's one you could easily have said was a no play for lack of trying to get out of the way. Instead, a runner on first base, 1 out. Josh Wilson, who struck out on a called third strike at the plate. And he takes another strike, 0-2.
Remember Josh Wilson from his time with the Rays. And he's had a busy year this year. He's been with 3 different big league teams and 2 minor league teams so far this year.
Away, 1-2. Josh and Brendan Harris spent a lot of time in the middle infield for the Rays.
Seattle got him from San Diego and also played for Arizona. And with Tacoma and Reno in the AAA hub.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Josh Wilson. Little soft line drive into left field. Long run Perez. He gets there. Puts it away for the second out. So Wilson retires. Away here in the fifth. Jeff Neiman making just his 10th start at home compared to 18 on the road since June 10th. He's only made 4 starts at home, but they have been outstanding. 32 innings of work in those 4 starts and only 3 runs allowed. Ichiro Suzuki has grounded out and flied out 0 for 2. Here's a ball hit deep to right field. Kapler looking up, no chance. This ball's well gone. Ichiro Suzuki with a 2-run home run, his 11th home run of the year, and that gives Seattle a 3-1 lead.
Boy, did he jump on a fastball. You think of him hitting line drives the opposite way, maybe pulling one into right, infield hits. He is all over this high fastball, jumps on it, and it got out of here in a hurry.
Started circling the bases after that swing. That's about 15 rows deep at least in right field. So a 3-1 Mariners lead after the home run by Ichiro. And Franklin Gutierrez will be the hitter. Ichiro won the game on Friday night against the New York Yankees with a walk-off. Apparently that bat that he hit the home run with does not deserve to be in the bat rack with the rest of the bats. That bat sits on the bench. He put that right up there on the bench next to his helmet.
You keep your helmet, your bat, and your glove in the same place so you know where they are at all times.
You saw Griffey Jr. over there talking with him. He talked about the clubhouse influence of Griffey Jr. There's the bat in the background. Talked about the Griffey Jr. and Sweeney influence. Ichiro feels as comfortable with this Seattle team as he ever has in his career, in large part due to Ken Griffey Jr. 1-2 pitch to Gutierrez, swing and a miss, strike 3. Neiman will take the slow walk off the mound after the strikeout, but he's a little frustrated with the home run he allowed. Ichiro Suzuki has given the Ends a 3-1 lead. RBI single in the second inning, but then Seattle came back with an RBI single of their own from Adrian Beltre. And with the game tied at 1, Ichiro hitting a 2-run home run deep into the right field, over the right field wall. That gives Seattle a 3-1 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Gabe Kapler leading off for the Rays against Ryan Roland Smith, who puts a curveball over for a called strike, 0-1. Kapler is struck out swinging and popped to short. Ground ball towards third, just foul. Snagged by Adrian Beltre, who flips it over to Tom Foley. It's 0-2. Ryan Roland Smith worked out of some trouble there in the second inning. He had the bases loaded and 1 out. He got Gabe Kapler to pop up and Emil Longoria to fly to center field. Get out of any further damage after allowing 1 run. Rays have left 6 on base so far, 5 in the first 2 innings. Quick worker Roland Smith delivers 0-2, misses the inside corner, 1-2. tomorrow is our website Wednesday, as Roland Smith delivers 1-2. And as the designated Twitterer for our broadcast team, I must tell the fans that Ryan Roland Smith is one of the few major leaguers who promotes his own Twitter page. 2-2 pitch, soft line drive, snagged on one hop by Beltrade, throws across. And there's one away. More on the Twitter page in a moment. Let's check in with Whit Watson.
Well, you know, we're always updating that as well, but I want to tell you about a programming reminder coming up on Friday. A brand new episode of Inside the Rays focusing on 3 players that enjoyed breakout seasons in 2009. Jeff Neiman, Jason Bartlett, and J.P. Howell, all featured in a special brand new 30-minute edition of Inside the Rays. It'll debut on Friday. You can always check fsfloridatv.com or sunsportstv.com for complete program listings, guys.
Whit, thank you very much. Nice job on those Inside the Rays all year long. That's going to be a good one, I think, the breakout years for those 3. As Evan Longoria takes a pitch away for a ball, 1-0. Longoria featured as he rounds one towards third. Beltre short-handed over there. The sidearm throw. There's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down on a couple of ground outs to third. So anyhow, Ryan Roland Smith is on the Twitter page at -18. Just the word hyphen spelled out, and the number 18, his number, and the fact that he is the only major leaguer ever with a hyphenated name. And he's on there fairly frequently talking about his travel across the country to the St. Petersburg area and much more. So if you want to find out more, you can always be a follower of the lefty from Australia. -18. Ben Zobrist takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. And he can possibly give you a little more insight to the mind of the lefty from Australia. He's walked Zobrist twice tonight. The only 2 walks he's allowed, and he misses there. It's 2-1. 5 hits for the Rays, 2 walks.
Yeah, and he walked him twice. The first 2 times up, he faced him in Seattle as well.
Then fouls one back. So Roland Smith having trouble throwing strikes to Ben Zobrist in his 2 starts against the Rays. Rays have faced him more as a relief pitcher than they have as a starter, and that's where Roland Smith has been jockeying between the bullpen and the rotation throughout his Seattle career, but he has found a home lately. Chopped off the plate towards the middle. Tough play. Lopez, he plants and throws in time. Nice play by the Seattle second baseman. So that's now 9 in a row sent down by Roland Smith. We head to the 6th. 3-1 ends.
Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Seattle leading Tampa Bay 3-1 as we head to the 6th inning. Ichiro Suzuki with a 2-run home run, giving the Mariners a lead. And here is Jose Lopez to lead things off. Actually, a breaking ball from Jeff Neiman, 1-0. Lopez hit into a double play and then lined out. He's hit the ball fairly hard a couple of times, but right at Evan Longoria. This one in the air to left field. Fernando Perez will drift over towards the line, and he'll get there. One away. Hey, coming to be a part of the Rays Fandemonium. It's Thursday, October 1st through Sunday, October 4th. Scratch-off cards benefiting the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association Education Foundation will be available through donation. Prizes include Rays game-worn jerseys, great discounts around town, and even a Kia. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today. Ken Griffey Jr., the batter, a walk and a ground out. He takes a pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Jeff Neiman has allowed 4 hits to the Mariners. He has walked a couple, both in the 2nd inning, and he's hit a batter. Time is called. Griffey Jr. did hit a home run against Jeff Neiman. 1 for 4 in his career, coming into tonight with that home run. Takes away 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ahead of the changeup, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Take a look at this pitch here. And he had Griffey out in front.
Missing away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rays fans, still tickets available tomorrow. It may be your last chance to see the number 5 home run hitter all time. Has not announced anything yet. But never know. Ken Griffey Jr. does not want a big deal made either way. He will not make any announcements till after the season. We'll see. He certainly helped this Mariners turnaround this year. 2-2 the count. Line drive, spear on the backhand by Willie Ibar. 2 away here in the 6th.
Griffey trying to get it through the heavily defended right side of the infield with that shift on and Ibar. Griffey to his right. Grabs it with that big mitt. 2 gone.
And even had he missed it, I think Ben Zobrist would have made the play to Jeff Neiman, who was heading over to cover first. So here's Adrian Beltre. He provided the first run for the Mariners with a line single to center field. Beltre will be a free agent in the offseason. Still a lot of question marks about the Mariners infield for 2010. Pitch is low, 2-0. Possibility that Jose Lopez would be considered at third after his big offensive year at second base. 2-0 pitch is fouled back. It's 2-1 on Beltre.
Neiman seems to have found himself a nice little rhythm here. Upset over giving up that home run to Ichiro, but made a couple pretty good pitches here in the 6th.
This is a little bit high. It's 3-1. And Jeff realizes he's winding down what, no matter what, is going to be a great rookie season. See him talking to himself there. It doesn't happen all that much. Just reminding himself. Some keys into his delivery. 3-2. I think he is well aware that he's certainly a candidate for the Rookie of the Year if he can finish strong in his last 3. Foul ball below us. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think at some point he may need to separate himself in the wins column. Right now he's 1 behind Rick Porcello. He needs to at least be tied for the lead, if not in the lead by himself, to have a legitimate shot at the end of the year. 3-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 4.
Yeah, that's why it'd really be nice to see him win out. Get a win tonight and 2 more, which would give him 15 wins on the year. Right here's a pretty good representation of the battle for the American League Rookie of the Year award. Neiman and Porcello and Bailey. Beckham with the White Sox and Elvis Andrus. You know, with the year the Texas Rangers have had, he has certainly helped himself. He'll get serious consideration.
No doubt there's going to be a few guys getting first place votes out of that list. I don't think it's going to be nearly close to unanimous like it was for Evan Longoria. I think for Jeff, winning 2 out of his last 3 will help, but he might need to win all 3. Right now, on the losing end of a 3-1 game, he needs to keep it right there. He has thrown 85 pitches to this point. Called strike to Bill Hall, 0-1. I would think with Porcello and Ricky Romero and Neiman all with similar numbers right now, that Jeff really has to get those wins to separate himself. He has walked Bill Hall and he has struck him out. 1 of 2 walks, or excuse me, 1 of 3 walks and 1 of 3 strikeouts. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Head, no balls and 2 strikes. He has not used his splitter as his put-away pitch yet. Let's see if he goes to it here. High fastball misses up, 1-2. Played off the mask of Navarro, and Hall stays alive, 1-2.
Came in with another fastball there, 1-2. This one in the low 90s. Just a little movement in with that one, which helped.
He is getting a lot of the plate with a couple of these pitches to Bill Hall. That's what got him in trouble in Baltimore. 1-2 pitch. Trying to get him to chase the split down in the dirt. And on the advancement, Adrian Beltre on the wild pitch moves to second. Taking a lot of time on the mound tonight, trying to finish off this 6th inning.
Yeah, that split not good enough. Hall could read it from the very beginning and had no intention of offering.
Another one down low, 3-2.
It's too bad he couldn't have thrown him that pitch on the one just prior. I think he would have struck him out with that pitch. 1-2, but after that really bad one, you know, I think that's a pretty good take by Hall. And I think 1-2, he probably gets him swinging.
I think you're right. And now the count's full with a runner on second and 2 outs. Breaking ball called, 3rd strike. Hall goes down looking for a strikeout for Neiman. 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th, and the Rays trail the Mariners 3-1. Sun Sports is brought to you by Amscott. Amscott, you're okay with us. And by Autoway Toyota. If you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Call Autoway Toyota at 1-800-NEW-TOYOTA. Cownose Rays hanging around the tank out there in right center field as the Rays are trailing Ryan Roland Smith and the Mariners 3-1. First pitch to Pat Burrell, misses upstairs, 1-0. Burrell has grounded out, and he's also popped up against Roland Smith. He got him on the changeup last time to pop up. There's a good curveball for a called strike, 1-1. Burrell, Willie Ibar, Deoner Navarro, 5, 6, 7 in the Rays lineup. Fastball misses inside, 2-1. Rays have 5 hits against Roland Smith. They've also walked twice, but he has retired 9 in a row, beginning with Burrell's pop-up back in the third. There's a foul out of play, and the count evens 2-2. Rare times Roland Smith went to a shake there on 2-2. Fastball misses at the knees, just a little low, 3-2.
Well, here he is. His last 5 starts have been quality starts. He's pitched 8 innings and 3 out of his last 4. He's cruising right now.
He's a guy that was an undrafted free agent and has had to fight for everything in his career. And now, after being switch from the bullpen to the rotation with great frequency, he's looked at as maybe a key component to the rotation next year, maybe a number 2 or number 3 guy, with Felix Hernandez being the ace of the staff.
He's been with the Mariners all along, although the Twins did draft him in the Rule 5 draft but didn't keep him, and they had to return him.
Foul ball, stays 3-2 to Burrell. Don Wakamatsu has seen 12 different starters through this rotation, and not just spot starting either. We're talking about at least 12 guys who have had a half dozen starts or more. Ball 4, good at bat by Burrell. A couple of 2-strike foul balls, and Burrell, who was on base 4 times on Sunday, draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th.
Well, as you know, the Durham Bulls won the International League, and they're playing for the AAA National Championship against Memphis, and they lead 4-3. They got a great start from Jeremy Hellickson, who pitched 2-hit baseball for 5 innings. He was removed from the game, and Desmond Jennings, a couple of hits. Ray Olmeda 2 for 2 with a run batted in, and Sean Rodriguez 1 for 3. That hit a home run. He's the young infielder the Rays got from the Angels. And after Hellickson left, Memphis put up 3, so it's a 4-3 game. 1 on, 1 out in the top of the 6th inning.
AAA
game being played in Oklahoma City.
AAA championship, Pacific Coast League champion against the International League champion. As you see, one of the key components to the Mariners bullpen, Sean Kelly, loosening up. First action for the Mariners tonight, as that was pitch number 100, right around there for Ryan Roland Smith. That is 100. 1 ball and no strikes to Willie Ibar. There you see his totals. He had 49 pitches the first 2 innings. And he kind of settled in after the third, but he walks over. It's retiring 9 straight before walking Burrell. So Pat Burrell on first, Willie Ibar at the plate. 1-1. How about the year for Jeremy Hellickson?
He's really made tremendous progress, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a serious run at making this staff maybe even out of spring training next year. Wow. He's made that kind of progress. So that'll be going forward. That's my prediction, that both those guys, Jennings and Hellickson, but I think it'd be a bigger surprise in the minds of most people if Hellickson pushed it that far, because Jennings has a chance to be a very significant everyday player in the outfield. But Hellickson, add another young arm to that potential rotation.
That's exciting. 2-2 pitch up high, 3-2. And right now, when you look at the 5 guys currently in the rotation for the Rays and nobody older than James Shields at 27, really not a weak link right now. There's guys that still need work. Obviously, Wade Davis still has to prove himself. David Price is figuring things out here in the second half. But boy, you add a Jeremy Hellickson to that mix, and you're having quite a competition.
Well, I think he just made such tremendous progress. He's added a changeup that scouts say is as good or better than James Shields' changeup.
Whoa.
And if that's the case, that's really exciting.
Ibar stays alive, 3-2. Rip foul. Well, the Rays have had some depth in the starting rotation, maybe more so than any other team in the major leagues the last couple of years. Able to trade guys like Edwin Jackson and Jason Hamill when Jeff Neiman won that 5th spot. Scott Kazmir this year. Another 3-2 to Ibar, hit into right field pretty well. This will find a gap all the way to the wall. Pat Burrell on his way to third. He's going to be held there as Ichiro gets the ball back into the infield. But the Rays now with second and third and nobody out here in the 6th inning.
This will be the Checkers' double of the game. In fact, the second double of the game for Willie Ibar. This one into the gap in right center field as it chases Burrell over to third, and he's digging hard to get to third base. Ibar had doubled up the right field line in the second and doubled in the gap in right center in the 6th.
Well, here's Deanna Navarro. Tying run on second base for the Rays in the 6th inning. Navarro 0 for 1, a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Takes a pitch up high, 1-0. Navi hit a home run against Ryan Rowland-Smith when they faced each other in Seattle on August the 9th. Rowland-Smith in that game lasted 6 2/3 and allowed 2 runs on that home run by Navarro. In the dirt, 2-0. During this stretch of 4 games where Rowland-Smith has gone 8 innings in 3 of his last 4 starts and 7 innings in the other, he has been anywhere between 106 and 116 pitches. Very solid pitch efficiency per inning. But tonight, he's about to make his 110th pitch in the 6th. And with nobody out to boot. There's a called strike. 2 balls and a strike to Navarro. That string of pitching into the 7th inning for his last 5 starts probably will come to a close tonight. In the dirt, good block by Jojima. It's 3-1. Pat Burrell on third, he walked. Willie Ibar on second, he doubled. Rays down 2 and a hitter's count for Navarro.
Yeah, and a chance for the honor to be very selective and make sure the pressure stays on the pitcher.
Fouls one away, and now the count's full. Navarro this year is a right-hand hitter, coming into tonight 288. Infield is back, conceding a run on a ground ball. Away, ball 4, bases are loaded. Ryan Rowland-Smith approaching his highest pitch count of the season. He's up to 113. His high total is 116. And out of the dugout comes Don Wakamatsu. That'll do it for his lefty from Australia, who will leave the bases loaded and nobody out here in the 6th. BJ Upton due up. I'll tell you about the new pitcher for Seattle when we come back to Trump. Every Sunday is a family fun day presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Get a ticket, Pepsi product, and a snack starting at just $25. Come out Sunday, October 4th, final home game of the season when the Rays battle the New York Yankees. First 10,000 kids 14 and under receive a Raymond wind-up walker. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today. Sean Kelly, new pitcher for Seattle.
Now for Kelly, this will be his 37th appearance. He's 5-3 with a .475 earned run average. The Rays saw him in all 3 games the last time they were in Seattle, and they scored off him in 2 of those 3 outings.
Bases full of Rays. B.J. Upton takes a called strike, 0-1. Upton facing the righty Sean Kelly for the first time in his career. B.J. hit the ball hard twice against Roland Smith. A little late on that fastball, 0-2. Jay drove in the first run for the Rays with an RBI single in the second, and he also lined out to center field. But down to the count, 0-2 to Kelly. Stays alive, fouling that pitch away, 0-2. Well, the Rays trying to rally against the Seattle Mariners. Rays led this game 1-0. Seattle scored 1 in the 4th to tie and 2 in the 5th to take the lead. Now the Rays with the bases loaded, nobody out. A line drive, base hit into left field. Burrow scores. Ibar being held at third. It's now a 3-2 Seattle lead. B.J. Upton with 2 RBIs on the night.
Well, Upton comes through on an 0-2 pitch. He got behind, stayed alive, fouled the pitch off, and got this pitch up and out over the plate. He's able to get that front foot down and then stroke it into left. And the Rays have made it a 1-run game.
And Joe Madden did say that Carl Crawford just wanted to take a little breather against the lefty starter. So out of the dugout with a righty out of the bullpen, Sean Kelly, comes Carl Crawford. Carl Crawford does not have a whole lot of pinch hit appearances in his career, but he's getting a big spot here. This year just 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Bases full of Rays. Saw Crawford over 400 lifetime with the bases full, including a couple of grand slams. Crawford's lone appearance against Kelly resulted in a single. Popped up, foul territory, playable. Adrian Beltre puts it away. Big out for the Mariners and Sean Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly got him with a fastball.
So 1 out, the bases remain loaded. Tying run on third base, go ahead run on second. Jason Bartlett will be the batter. You see his career with the bases loaded, but this year 6 hits, 14 RBIs, and 14 at bats. Swing and a miss and a fastball, 0-1. Fastball just a little bit under it, 0-1.
Now Bartlett hit a home run off Kelly out in Seattle on the Friday night game in that series.
The only time he has faced Kelly was that home run. Rays with a big threat here. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. Now 1 away. Bases still full, down 1. 1 run already in. Held up on a pitch down low, 2-1. Ibar on third, Navarro on second, Upton on first, 1 out. 2-1 the count to Bartlett. Line drive into left field. Back goes Bill Hall. He makes the catch. Ibar will tag and score the tying run. So a line drive sacrifice fly by Bartlett, and we are all tied at 3.
Well, you knew it was going to be a battling at bat for Bartlett. Sean Kelly, who wants to keep the ball down, and that fastball kind of ran in on him a little bit more than the sink that he might want on that pitch. So he didn't get the ground ball as Bartlett got it in the air and enough for the sacrifice fly.
Oh, Jason with RBI number 64 on the season. And the Rays have tied this game at 3. Well, here's Gabe Gross. Pinch hitting for Gabe Kapler. Taking a pitch down low, 1-0. Told you Carl Crawford didn't have a whole lot of pinch hit at bats. Gross leads the team in pinch hit at bats. But he is just 2 of 24 this year as a pinch hitter, trying to drive in the go-ahead run. That's a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1. The 2 runs in this inning charged to Ryan Roland Smith. He's still responsible for Deanna Navarro at second. The Rays have knocked out the Seattle starter here in the 6th. Jeff Neiman still in there for the Rays. There's no action in the bullpen, so big rookie right-hander will be out there for inning 7 as well. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Miguel Batista warming up for the Mariners. Swinging a miss, strike 3. Gross goes down swinging. So Sean Kelly gets out of any further damage, but the Rays score 2 in the inning on the RBI singles by B.J. Upton and the sacrifice. Seventh inning. Let's take a look at our Buick Pontiac GMC dealers road ahead. Tomorrow we'll wrap up the homestand for the Rays, the penultimate homestand. Brandon Morrow, hard-throwing right-hander for Seattle. Wade Davis making his 4th Major League start for the Rays. You can see that game on Fox Sports Florida, 7:08 first pitch, 6:30. Actually, tomorrow, 7:38 first pitch, 7 o'clock with the Rays live pregame show. 7th inning baseball. Here's Dwayne.
Thank you, Todd. We go to the 7th. It's a tie game, 3-3. Wade Davis will make the start tomorrow. Looking on from the dugout, Kenji Jojima leads it off, and that pitch is a strike. He tried to check and went around. Jojima checking with Scott Berry, the plate umpire, on that call. Rays with a couple runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie it. There's a strike, 0-2. Carl Crawford stays in the game to play left. Gabe Gross stays on to play right. Fly ball toward the right field line. That's going to twist out of play. Count still 2 strikes.
Correction, no pregame tomorrow. 7:08 game. 7 o'clock on the air.
That's it.
I almost scared Witt a little bit there. No pregame tomorrow, Witt.
Yeah, he'd already made dinner plans for tomorrow night. Can't cancel those. 2 strikes to count to Jojima. Up and off the mitt of Deoner Navarro. .96 pitches on the night for Jeff Neiman. And a swing and a miss. Jojima's out on strikes. He leaves the plate. And down to first, Navarro with a peg to Ibar. So the strikeout, that's number 5. I think Neiman got him on the split. He retired Hall on a split in the 4th. Let's take a look. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a great split. And you could see the grip in the glove right before he threw that on the replay. Great look, guys. It's no chance there. That's a pitch he's had now for 4 starts and really becoming a big weapon for him.
Here's Carp. Breaking ball that stays high. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch is down. 2 balls, no strikes.
With Randy Choate warming up, I think Neiman has to get the next 2 batters to get through this inning. I do not think Choate's going to let him face Ichiro again.
And Carp fouls it back. 2-1. So Neiman working in the 7th inning. Right at 100 pitches. And a high fly ball right center. Gabe Gross is there. He's got it. 2 outs. And the hitter is going to be the shortstop, Josh Wilson.
Just the whole demeanor of this rookie has changed. We have seen the maturation process all season long. Even after that fly ball, he's checking with Navarro about location. He's taking control of things more so now than he ever did early in the season. It's just great to watch him grow.
Pitch is down to Wilson. A ball and no strikes. It's fouled back, and you know where else that's been reflected is in his pitch count. His ability to pitch deeper into games. And if you look at, say, the starts in the first third, maybe up to the first half of the season, and you can see that process grow with his pitch count. Well, there's a nice pitch. A breaking ball, 1-1, makes it a ball and 2 strikes. That was a dandy pitch right there. Fastball, bit high. 2-2.
Yeah, Joe Madden used to be a little leery of letting him go beyond 100, but he's very comfortable with him now over the 100 pitch count. And I believe this is his last hitter with Ichiro looming on deck.
2 outs, bases empty. There's Ichiro. The 2-2. And a foul up the right side. Out of play. With the fastball away from Wilson. he'll go 2-2 with it. Read it in. Too far down and in, and the count is full. He got him with a fastball in the third. That breaking ball he threw for strike 2 was good, and he misses with a fastball in here, and he walks Wilson. So a 2-out walk. Ichiro's going to be the hitter, and Joe Madden comes out of the dugout. He wants the left-hander.
Very close. That's a frustration right there for Neiman, because he knew he probably had to get that hitter to give himself a chance for the victory. Instead, he will leave the game.
So pitching change coming, and we'll be back. On that pitch to Wilson was very close and appeared to catch the plate, and if it did, it had the strike zone terms top to bottom. That was very close. And of course, Neiman, who made 108 pitches tonight, departs with a runner at first, 2 outs in the inning in a tie game. So if the Rays win this game, he will not be the winner. I'd love to have seen him pick up a win and then have a chance at 2 more. So here's Choate now facing Ichiro, and the first pitch is a strike. Ichiro hit the home run in the 5th inning that gave Seattle a 3-1 lead. Game now tied with Ichiro up there facing the lefty Choate. Ground ball third. Longoria down to second. Zobrist for the force, and that retires the side. So we're tied. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch. AT Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Evan Longoria leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Rays. He's facing Miguel Batista, who throws him a first pitch strike. Batista 6-4 on the year. Good moving away. Some cut action on it. Strike 2. Sean Kelly worked an inning, gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout in relief of Brian Roland Smith. So both starters out of this game and out of any chance to figure in a decision. Tied 3-3, bottom of the 7th. And Evan is out on strikes. Couple of pitches with some movement away from him. One away. Another look at our Heineken Light. Upgrade your experience. Promotional winner Robert Scarduzio and guests enjoying the upgraded Rays baseball experience tonight here at the ballpark at Tropicana Field.
He doesn't need the binoculars from that seat, does he? He was expected to be way up there.
Ben Zobrist. Pitch is a strike. Batista quick with the fastball and some cut action on it. One ball, 2 strikes.
The other frustrating part of the night for Neiman, not only did he just miss on that pitch to Josh Wilson on the 3-2 pitch that could have gotten him out of the inning, but the Rays had a chance to really add to that inning. Last inning, they had a run in and the bases still loaded with nobody out.
And Zobrist is caught looking. Batista has come in here and picked up a couple of strikeouts. Let's take a look at this. Look at it from the overhead. Now, if that's a strike, why isn't the pitch to Wilson a strike in the top of the 7th?
I agree.
And the strike to Pat Burrow. Wow. I mean, that pitch to Zobrist was 5 inches outside. One and one to count.
Pitch to Wilson really could have been a called strike. Unfortunately, Navarro was set up on the outside part of the plate. The pitch was right on the black of the inside part of the plate.
Foul up the right side, out of play. A fastball. A little something on that one, and the count is now a ball and 2 strikes. That with a little piece of it. Earl facing Batista. And there is strike 3 called. Batista with a slider strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays, and we head into the 8th tied. Brady's E-class attention assist of the game. Rays have turned a couple of 5-4-3 double plays on Corey. Zobras to Ibar. One in the first, one in the second. We go to the 8th inning. Tie game 3-3. Dan Wheeler, the new pitcher for the Rays. Joe came on to get Ichiro to end the 7th. And now Franklin Gutierrez steps in here. Jose Lopez due next, and then Ken Griffey Jr. third. And the pitch is a strike. So Neiman 6 2/3. Show to third, and now Wheeler on for the 65th time. High pop foul up the right side. That's going to be out of play. 0-2. Gutierrez bunted his way aboard in the first. He singled to open the 4th. Stole a base and scored a run. Struck out swinging and a fastball in the 5th inning. All of that against Jeff Neiman. 2 strikes to count. In the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 108 pitches for Neiman. Couple of pitches. And now a 1-2 count. Wheeler to Gutierrez. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. A fastball out there catching the edge for the first out.
1-2 pitch outside corner, perfect, right there on the outer half. I mean, that's as good as you could place it.
Toyota Trend, that bullpen the last 3 games for the Rays, much better. Much better than we had seen that last run. It's Jose Lopez and a long shot. That baby's out of here. Boy, did he hit that ball. On the first pitch, Jose Lopez hits his 25th home run of the year. And that's going to make it a 4-3 ball game. There was no question. Saw a pitch to hit and hit it.
Saw Aaron Hill earlier in this homestand. That was just a hanger on the inside part of the plate and up, and that's dangerous with Jose Lopez. Hill and Lopez amongst the second baseman putting up some big numbers in the American League. He blows a kiss up to the ceiling. He had a sister pass away earlier this year, and he's dedicated the season to her.
Ken Griffey Jr. The pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. It's inside, and it's a 2-0 count to Ken Griffey Jr. So the Mariners have 5 hits tonight. 2 of them have been home runs to account for 3 of their 4 runs. There's ball 3 to Griffey. 3-0. Ball 4 up and away. So Griffey goes to first, walks on 4. Time for the stay in the game hole leaders for the Rays, brought to you by Just for Men. As middle relievers keep their teams in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. 417, Wheeler 16. In And with a runner at first and one out, the Rays down by a run. Jim Hickey goes to the mound. Chad Bradford has joined Russ Springer in the bullpen. Adrian Beltre will be the hitter. Beltre drove in a run with a base hit in the fourth. He walked in the sixth. For the first, and Griffey is back in. Fastball is high. 1 ball, no strikes. A strike around the knees, 1-1. Rays led 1-0. Game was tied in the fourth, 1-1. Seattle took a 3-1 lead in the fifth. The Rays tied it with 2 in the sixth. And the Mariners have taken the lead in the eighth on the home run by Lopez. Griffey's at first, 1-1 the count to Beltre. Oh, and outside. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Back in at first base. Beltre steps back as Griffey gets time at first to dust himself off.
Typical Seattle game tonight. Not a whole lot of runs. Their bullpen has done a nice job. They're always in these close games, it seems, late. And they have figured out a way in 2009 to win those games.
2-1. There's a strike taken by Beltre. 2-2 now. Took an aggressive cut. Ball is on deck, and they have Bradford and Springer in the bullpen. Either way, I think they'll go to the pen for Hall. And the third foul. So the count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the bullpen's going to shake the hand of the Golden Glover who made that play, just like everybody. Very appreciative group down there.
Started to go, but check. And the count is full to Adrian Beltre. Wheeler got Gutierrez looking on strikes. Lopez jumped on the first pitch, hit it out. Griffey walked, and now full count to Beltre. the middle. Zobra steps on the bag and goes to first. They get the double play, and that retires the side. Lopez hits the home run. The Rays ended on the double play. ns.rays@fox.com or visit sunsportstv.com and click on the Ask the Rays button on the Rays page to submit your entry. Tune in to the premiere of the show in October on Sun Sports to see if your moment made the cut. Rays are down by a run, and here's Willie Ibar making the first pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. Willie 2 for 3, 2 doubles, and 2 runs scored. And the pitch hit on the ground to second. Lopez throws him out. Ibar is retired to start the home half of the 8th. J.P. Howell busy in the Rays bullpen now.
Number 9, Greg
Zahn will come off the bench to pinch hit for Deoner Navarro.
Well, Zahn's got better batting average against righties. He's been part of that platoon, if you will, since he joined the team, where Navarro starts against lefties, Zahn against righties. Not always split up that way, but for the most part, Joe tries to favor it that way.
Rays live the post game following the coverage of our contest tonight. Zahn takes a pitch down. It's 1-0.
Zahn's only 3 for 14 against Batista, but 2 of those 3 hits were home runs.
Ground ball foul. 1-1.
Be interesting to see who Joe catches tomorrow. Normally it would be Zahn against a righty, but the way Navarro has caught Wade Davis, he may keep that pairing together.
The ground ball headed to short. Wilson makes his throw to first, and Zahn is the second out. So Batista, who struck out the side in the 7th inning, has gone to the ground ball in the 8th to retire Ibar and Zahn. And B.J. Upton will be the hitter. We'll be with you tomorrow on Fox Sports Florida in high definition. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock. The second and final game of this 2-game set. Wade Davis makes the start for the Rays. Upton with 2 hits, and it's a high fly ball back into left center field. That's the center fielder Gutierrez making the catch. to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. We're at the end of 8. 4-3 Seattle. Florida wants you to be tobacco-free. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com for more information. We go to the 9th. J.P. Howell on for the Rays, and Bill Hall steps in to lead it off. Takes the pitch for a strike. Jojima due next, and then the first baseman, Carp. Pitch is down. 1-1.
JP starting to get a little more of a breather in between appearances. Month of September.
Zahn doing the catching after pinch hitting for Navarro. One pitch, and that's ball 3 outside. So 3-1. JP worked an inning the last game of the Toronto series. Picked up actually the last third of an inning. This one skied left center, and out there is Bartlett for it. Oh, really thought he had a pitch to hit. Saturday afternoons made for baseball, and this week Fox brings you the national game of the week. Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox head to the Bronx, taking on Mark Teixeira and the AL East leading Yankees in a showdown that could be a preview of the ALCS. Fox Saturday baseball this week at 4 Eastern on Fox. Jojima, the catcher. Genji Jojima. There's a strike. Strike. One and two. Jojima rounded into a double play. Right out to right. Struck out in the 7th. This one. He is out on strikes again on a pitch in the dirt. 2 outs in the ninth.
Good to see JP getting a little of that swagger back his last couple of outings. This is a really good changeup. I mean, no chance there. Jojima not even close to it. He's got that bad left ankle, so he hasn't run out either the last few times he struck out. Left knee, rather, fouled a ball off his knee.
Mike Carp. Ball, no strikes to Carp. He was hit by a pitch and scored on the Ichiro home run in the 5th inning. One and one.
JP was so good this season for the Rays. He had that home run hit by Ryan Langerhans on August 7th in Seattle that won a game for them. That started a little bit of a slide for the Rays bullpen and for JP, but good to see him back a little bit the last 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays in the bottom of the ninth to have Crawford, Bartlett, and then Gross. Carp takes it. Full count. Rays have left 8 tonight. Mariners 4. Powell trying to get the final out in the ninth. And that's ball 4. Carp heads to first. 2 outs with a runner aboard. Here's another look at that pitch.
Carp has a pretty good idea of the strike zone here. His pitch is inside. Doesn't miss by much.
That'll be the shortstop, Josh Wilson. Wilson has struck out, flied out, and walked. Pitch is a strike. Too low, and Wilson lays off this one. The Rays dropped 4 of 6 against Seattle on the road this year, and they see the Mariners for the first time here at Tropicana Field tonight. There's 2 games here at Tropicana Field against Seattle all year on the 09 schedule. 1-1 to count to Wilson. Lance Cormier down on the bullpen. And a strike call. 1-2. So he'll have to do it again on a 1-2 count. A 4-3 ball game. They've averaged center field. Upton is back court, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a walk, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Rays need one to keep it going, two to win it, down 4-3. Crawford, Bartlett, and Gross due for the Rays, and the Rays need a run. Jack Hanahan enters the game to play first base. And the new pitcher will be right-hander Mark Lowe.
Mark Lowe has been primarily an eighth-inning guy this year for the Mariners, appearing in game number 70, 24 holds. What a job he has done, an ERA below 3. One of the key components to the bullpen. Normally he hands it over to David Ardsman in the ninth, but tonight he gets a chance to close.
So here's Crawford against Lowe. And the pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Lowe in his last 14 appearances covering 17 innings, given up only 2 runs. Pitch is inside to Crawford. 2-0. And a career high in appearances this year. Crawford takes a strike. 2-1. Crawford did not start tonight. He entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Fouled out to 3rd. Rays scored 2 in that inning to tie it. Crawford fouls the fastball back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays have stranded 8 men tonight, left the bases loaded in the 2nd when they scored 1. The Mariners have left 5 men on base. 2-2. Full count to Crawford. The Rays trying to get a man on. Those 3-2 to Crawford, and he walked him. So Carl is aboard here to start the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, Don Wakamasu going to Mark Lowe here in the 9th, and that was up and in, and now he's got to be aware of Carl Crawford potentially picking up steal number 60. Also could mean some fastballs for Jason Bartlett, who's looking for his 15th home run. A lot of action here after the walk to Crawford.
Well, he might be able to get a jump off Lowe Jojima has been throwing very well this year. And a move to first. Crawford back in. Jojima has made a concentrated effort to improve his footwork and the quick release. Carl with 59 steals, matching his career high in a single season. And there's a pop-up left side. Beltre back making the call. That is out number one. Pitch in and the pop-up.
Jason a little frustrated. He was looking fastball, thought he could drive fastball, but that just got in on his hands a little bit. Let's take another look. He's looking dead red with Crawford on first. He gets it, but that ball just tailed in on his hand, so he couldn't get extended and ends up popping it up instead of driving it.
Here's Gabe Gross. First time Gross has been matched up against Lowe. Back in there. Earl takes the lead. A strike to Gross.
Take a look at this pitch. Some serious heat right there. Never left the knees, right over the plate.
There goes Crawford, and the pitch is popped up. It's going to be caught by Lopez in shallow center, and Crawford hustles to get back to first. He was sliding in at second base on that pop-up. Fortunately for the Rays, it was a high pop-up to give Crawford time to get back.
He had a pretty good jump, too. Probably would have had a 60th base, but down 0-1 in the count. Gross can't afford to take strike two there. Just got under that pitch and popped it up.
Here's Evan Longoria. Evan 0 for 2 lifetime against Lowe. Pitch is down and away. Slider. And that's a strike. The slider. Just caught the strike zone around the knees. Evan on the night, 1 for 4, has hit a first inning single. And there's strike two. Lowe staying with that slider. It has thrown 2 good ones for strikes here to go up in the count. There's another look at that pitch.
That's a thing of beauty right there, right on the corner. Tough pitch. Even if you try and swing at it, you're not going to do much with that.
1-2 the count. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 4-3 game. Crawford walked to open the ninth. He's still at first with 2 outs. 2-2 the count to Longoria. Move to first. Crawford is in, standing up. Rays came in riding a 4-game winning streak, but the Jose Lopez 8th inning home run, the difference in the game. 2-2. Longoria just a piece of that fastball, and boy, did he have a little extra on that one. Count still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
97. Some serious heat on the outer corner. That's a good foul ball to stay alive.
Two. One more time. Here it is, and it's foul back. Hard stuff again.
Trying to stay away from Longoria. They know he can drive a ball, but they get it in the inner half of the plate, so everything's away, trying to get him on the outside corner.
Staying alive on those last 2 pitches, just getting a piece of them. This one is high. Fastball runs the count full.
Now with a head start for Crawford, anything that gets towards the gap gives him a chance to score easily.
So 3-2 with 2 outs. He'll be off with the pitch. There he goes. Here it is, and it's going to be strike 3. Longoria is headed to first, but he's called out on strikes by the plate umpire, saying he went around, and this game is over. Longoria thought he had checked. Scott Berry says it's a strike. Our Scott replay. We'll take a look at that. Did he go or not? And he probably did. 4-3 the final. And the Rays winning streak of 4 comes to an end as the